Willie Cauley-Stein has been an interesting player for the Dallas Mavericks. Last season, after the devastating Achilles injury to the Mavs starting center Dwight Powell, Cauley-Stein was picked up in a trade from the Golden State Warriors to replace Powell. The Warriors sent Cauley-Stein to Dallas in exchange for a 2020 second-round draft pick. He was ironically scouted in the 2015 NBA draft to be a similar player of Tyson Chandler, who Mavs fans know all too well. Stein didn't play in a lot of games with the Mavs, only played in 13 games and only played around 12 minutes a game before the season shut down. He really got inconsistent minutes from Rick Carlisle, but when Stein got minutes to work with, he really made the most out of them, and if he is getting around 20 minutes a game, he could be a really solid double-double type guy. Last season in 25 minutes played against Charlotte, he put up 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks, which was his best game for the Mavs. Another game in 25 minutes against the Atlanta Hawks, he put up 7 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Then there were games where he would just get 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 12 minutes, and not that much production. Even though he was brought in and looked to replace Powell, it seemed like he was held back, and there is a reason for that. He still needed to adjust and figure out playing in the Mavericks system. But when he was playing with the Mavericks, he was a lob threat, good rebounder for the team, and interior defender. Cauley-Stein wasn't in the bubble as he opted out of playing as he was awaiting the birth of his kid. Stein has been the Mavericks' mini project player, and hopefully he can play a bigger role going on to next season. In the 2020 offseason, the Dallas Mavericks brought Stein back on a 2-year, $8.2 million contract, and they brought him back for a reason. He has had a long offseason where he worked out with Dallas trainer Tyler Relf, and he prioritized his three-point shooting and back to the basket game and just learning more about the Mavericks system as well as what the Mavericks wanted him to focus on. The Mavericks in the offseason wanted him to improve as a rim runner, guarding ball screens, and being in top shape, and added more to his game according to Dallas Morning News. Stein adds more depth to the center position, being in line next to guys like Dwight Powell, Boban Marjanovic, and Maxi Kleber. But Kleber, you can really plug him as a power forward as well, so your set centers are Boban, Dwight, and Stein. After the 2021 preseason, even though in limited games, he has shown the willingness and potential to be a floor spacing big who can knock down threes, and that's big for his game. The Mavs are going to push him to shoot threes in games if he can, because this team has prioritized a lot of spacing. The only player who doesn't shoot threes that much is Boban Marjanovic, which is crazy to think about, and with Willie adding a three-point shot to his game, that changes a lot to the Mavericks rotation. The Mavericks will have endless rotations of players who are versatile and threats to shoot.
Yeah, he's got a nice touch. He's been working on it diligently. I talked to him about it back this summer before we went to the bubble. He was not going to be going, but we had a conversation about it, and I said, hey, if you're serious about committing to stretching your range out, spend the time on it. I said I'm good with it, and he has spent a lot of time on it, and it's he works on it before practice. He works on it after practice. He hasn't had a chance to shoot very many in practice, but in the game we got one for him in the first game against Milwaukee. He didn't make it, but then he got 2, in the second game and knocked him in. So, it's a process thing. It's a system thing. But if he's wide open, he's got good rhythm, it's a good shot for him.
Now, Cauley-Stein won't start at center as the Mavs will favor returning Dwight Powell to take the starting center spot, and Stein's role diminished from being a starting center to a backup big off the bench. He only received around 7 minutes a game in preseason, but he should see some more minutes given to him as the team awaits Kristaps Porzingis to return. But how much minutes he gets on the floor may be based on what team the Mavs face each night. There were previous questions in Stein's career revolving around him being a consistent player and his motor, but Cauley-Stein really has the size and athleticism and offensive mold to see some consistent minutes for this team. With Cauley-Stein's size, he is a better rebounder and defender than a Dwight Powell, and with Dwight Powell coming back from injury, he may see some rust as he adjusts himself back into playing high-level basketball. Plus, Powell's lack of defending much more skilled centers in the league may force the Mavericks' hand into playing playing Stein more. Stein, if given the minutes, can shine for this Mavericks team if he stays consistent as an inside presence, rebounder, pick and roll man, and defender. The Mavs could also allow him to take around 2 threes a game if he's given the space. I doubt Stein becomes a starter, as Powell is much more favored at the starting center spot by the Mavericks, but the mission for Stein is just getting more minutes, and with his production, he can very well be that reliable rim running defensive center that the Mavericks can lean on.